Hydroculus is basically just little collectible things you need to get.
Whoa! What a huge ship! Why would a ship be anchored at a place like this?
I'm guessing you've never, played Genshin? Ah. Yeah, oculi are like these little things you need to collect to upgrade a statue and stuff.
There's no need to be so surprised. While it may look like a ship, it's actually Spina di Rosula's headquarters.
Fancy.
My father was the one who asked for it to be built like this. Perhaps our taste in exterior design is the only thing we occasionally had in common.
Yeah, to get like more stamina and a couple like rewards and stuff.
A gigantic and glamorous ship embodies discovery, opportunity, ambition, and conquest. It symbolizes Spina di Rosula's bright and limitless future.
I'm starting to understand why you like it. So yeah. I'm from America. I'm from Wisconsin to be specific, but I live in Texas right now. Which I hate it here. I really wish I didn't move here. I do not do good with the heat.
And Paimon thought you were bluffing when you said Spina di Rosula had a glorious past. Paimon was confused why a group with such a history would live in the sewers. But now that Paimon has seen this ship for herself, she's been convinced.
Well, Poisson is where Spina di Rosula began, after all. It's our main base, our home.
There's an oculi down here. I'm not looking at her butt, guys. I'm trying to see where the oculi is. Get your minds out of the gutter. Especially because we're not in the gutter anymore. Down there?
Yep.
Oh. It's underwater. I forget that you can go underwater now. Oh, yeah. You are very new. This is literally the newest area, so you're, like, this is 20 hours ahead for you. So you have to go through Mondstadt, Lille, Inazuma, and Sumeru to even get here. Like, you can explore here, but you're not gonna get the quest soon, though. Also, I find it funny that they censored the butt. I mean, it makes sense. Of course, they would censor the butts in the diving mode, but I still find it very funny. So how do you like the game so far? I've been playing for like 2 years, so I'm far from new to this game. Also, not to mention, you have to go through all of the, like, side quests and stuff. Yeah. I really like these kinds of games, too. Where the fuck am I going? This way. 1 second, I need to close my door. Another human in our house is awake. Ooh. Another Ocula? Probably up here. Let me see if I can avoid talking to her for a moment. I need the Oculi. I need it. Yes. Anyway. Yes. I am in wet France.
Maloose, we're back.
I need this slightly open though, so my Wi-Fi can get in.
Apologies for the wait, demoiselle, and our most important partners.
Okay.
You said before that you still had some business at the court. What brings you back to Poisson so quickly?
We have new leads.
About that. It's because my partner here reminded me of something really important. You see, what if my father's case had something to do with water from the primordial sea? You still remember, right, Maloose? On that night, it was raining?
Yes, the case was quite similar to that of Mr. Linney's. Both were what you'd call impossible murders.
Could the mastermind be the same person?
Could you tell us a bit more about what happened before?
Yeah, of course. Many years ago, something called synth began to gain popularity in Poisson.
Oh. No spoilers. I don't want any spoilers. Because I don't know what happens, but fair enough. I've been spoiled for a lot of story, but I don't mind spoilers for the most part. Like, I already knew stuff that would happen in Liyue and stuff. And I already knew who the Archons were. But, like, I always liked seeing how it led up to that.
At a glance, it was a kind of drink that could excite your mood and produce many pleasant hallucinations.
Wait! Didn't that guard guy who turned into water also mention that the primordial water could be used to produce some kind of potion?
This was it.
Yes, he did. Considering what we know now, it's almost certain that synth is created using water from the primordial sea. If you drink synth for an extended amount of time, you'll suffer many side effects, such as losing the ability to focus or control your emotions.
Same.
And if you were to stop drinking it completely, you'll experience flashes of paranoia and anxiety while lacking energy to do anything. It's an extremely dangerous substance.
Same. This is just how I am, though. I don't need to drink drugs.
As he oversaw Poisson, my father was compelled to put a
Speaking
stop
of
to
drugs.
synth abuse and called for a complete ban of it.
I need to get my meds. So I woke up a little later, so I forgot to take my meds.
Boss's uncompromising attitude incurred the synth vendor's wrath, but no matter how much they threatened or bribed him, he refused to yield. Not only that, the boss became determined to find the mastermind behind the synth operation and put an end to the problem once and for all.
I'm gonna go with my first hypothesis then, where he got too close and to keep Navia safe, he chose to die in the duel.
Yes, but the enemy was very cunning. So he could never get anything out of the dealers, all of whom only sold the stuff and weren't privy to the rest of the operation.
Fair enough. I mean, you don't want to give that much information to someone who has lower stakes in the operation. Plus, they would be able to technically compete, because they already know who to contact for the clientele. So if they're able to create the stuff themselves, why not cut out the middleman and become the dealer?
Recognizing that,
Or
my father
become the
decided
creator.
to contact the dealers in secret and cultivate personal relationships with them. Finally, he was able to convince someone to become his informant.
So I did get very close to
The
it.
man's name was Jacques. He felt greatly ashamed about his work after seeing many families destroyed by synth abuse.
I always disliked that part of the game just because it made me nauseous.
That night, my father hosted a banquet at his countryside estate. We planned to meet up and exchange information with Jacques over some food.
The lead up to the fight always made me nauseous, and the actual battle was annoying because we were in a fixed position, and it always threw me off.
But then, we heard 2 gunshots from the courtyard. We raced to the scene and found my father, still holding a gun, and Jacques, who was already dead on the ground.
Oh shit.
Huh? How did that happen? Aren't they on the same side?
Or were they? Or was he told to kill Jacques? Because they were in on the scheme together because they know they were too deep. And they both knew they were gonna die anyways, but to save his daughter, Navia, they had to die to take the blame.
Sounds just like Lenny's case, doesn't it? In both cases, the culprit seemed obvious, but neither appeared to have any motive at all. Looking back on it, though, I now believe the most important clue was something we all overlooked at the time. There were pieces of clothing left at the scene.
So they could have belonged to someone who got dissolved?
Precisely. It's all thanks to you that I made the connection now. Back then, we all just thought they were some costumes that Jacques used to disguise himself at the banquet.
You really like Lenny? I'm not too crazy about him. I mean, I don't dislike him, but I'm not really pulling for him. I already know which characters I want to pull for, so I'm saving for them.
But, considering it now, it's almost certain that they belong to a third person at the scene. With one extra person, we'll also need to reconsider why the 2 shots were fired.
Maybe your father got into an argument with Jacques, but it's also possible that the third person was to blame.
You're right. We still don't know what happened. But my intuition tells me that we're on the right track to figuring it all out. I'm finally headed towards the truth.
Jacques was an empathetic man who was infinitely remorseful for his past actions. It's unlikely that he turned on Boss with 0 warning.
Yeah, true. I mean, if you want to invest in him, it's gonna be a little bit more difficult because you have to actually get to Fontaine. But you can still explore Fontaine. In an early game, you just can't, do the quests. But also, you have to go through Sumeru, too. It's a real, like, hook to get there for now. So, I'd likely, if I were you, I'd pull for Yelan, because she's a very good character at any level, but especially for endgame. And I think she would very much help you early game, and also her stuff is in Liyue, so I think you're better off with Yelan. I wouldn't waste it on the standard wish, because you're gonna get those anyways for free just by playing the game. So I say don't waste your primos on the standard banner, because at some point you're gonna get standard banner characters anyways. But if you want to, do whatever you want. I'm just saying for, if you want to, like, be smart with your primos. Oh. Well then, yeah, if you already have the standard fates, then do it. Yeah, if they're given to you for free, yeah, I know what you're talking about. If they're given to you for free, I would do it, but, like, for spending your primos, I say, wish for Yelan. Or, actually, save your primos if you really want to wish right away, which you're probably going to be a little bit before you get a 5-star anyways. But if anything, save for, the next banners, because Zhongli is really, really good. He is one of the best shielders. He is the best shielder in the game, and will help you through a lot of the game. Like, he makes the game so much easier, and he can work in basically any team.
I think this third person is probably the key to the full truth.
Ah. The Favonius sword is, pretty good
On that
for
note,
certain
however,
characters.
even though this will not please you, demoiselle, as you're and your father's butler, I must still offer a word of warning.
You can get several characters for free, just by playing the game. God, how many characters can you get for free? You get Amber and, Kaya and Lisa from playing the game, obviously. Or from playing the story, obviously, because you already beat Storm Terror. I think you get Zhongling and, Cole from Spiral Abyss. And I think just by the time you reach, Adventure Rank 25, you get a free Lynette. So you can get several free characters that are pretty good, also, just so you know.
Our opponent is insidious and cruel. They are extremely difficult to deal with, and Boss has already lost his life trying to bring them to justice. Even though Spina de Rosula has lost most of its former glory, Poisson has welcomed a new time of peace, and we have been allowed to live out our lives. There is no need to follow your father's path. It would be both wise and in line with Boss's wishes to step back and give up on the case.
I say all this, but of course, go for characters that you not only like, but also, you find fun to play. Because even if they're good for the meta, it don't matter if you don't like playing them. And this is a game where you're supposed to have fun, so take everything I say with a grain of salt.
If that's indeed what he wished for, then he should have told me that himself. Was I not the closest person to him? And yet, I was the one most kept in the dark.
To keep you safe.
What was the point of him dying without sharing any of the secrets he knew? Did he manage to protect anything in the end?
He tried to protect you because he loves and cares about you
Synth is still
and
here.
your safety.
Callus the Unfaithful is still his epithet. And Spina di Rosula is barely getting by. Nothing has changed. Did he think I'd just accept his meaningless death and live out my life just as meaninglessly?
I'm sure he hoped you would be safe and live a long, happy life.
I've never accepted that. Ever. Not since that day, and certainly not now.
Because, I mean, that's normally what parents do. They hope for the happiness and the safety of their children. So it makes sense.
I want to find out the real answer for everyone's sake. For the missing girls, for the victims, and for myself.
Navia.
This is indeed the best moment to act. Your partner appears to be quite reliable, and more importantly, demoiselle, I think you're also ready to take this on.
So you do know something else, Maloose?
Yes, I do. In fact, even before that banquet, Boss already knew of the connection between Synth and the serial disappearances case.
But he wanted to keep you safe.
But what drove all the tensions to the boiling point was the revelation that you, demoiselle, had been selected as the next target to disappear.
Oh, shit, that's why.
What?
Boss also didn't tell you that he had been diagnosed with a rare illness. The doctors told him that he had no more than 5 years left to live. And the serial disappearances case caused him great anxiety.
Understandable, so he already knew he was going to die soon anyways. And he was set up because he knew the connection, and he also knew that Navia was going to be selected next. So to take the heat off of her, he chose to die in the duel. Specifically in the duel, because if he didn't die in the duel, it would be obvious that he didn't do it, and the target would still be on his and his daughter's back.
5 years was nowhere near enough time to resolve this long-standing conflict. But once he passed away, all the danger would pass on to you. Knowing all of this, he decided to use one final intimidation tactic before his death. He claimed to have already gotten his hands on some key incriminating evidence for the other side, and even told some members of Spina di Rosula about the details. But as long as you remained safe, he would not share the evidence with the public. If something were to happen to you, then he and all those he told would immediately expose all they knew about Synth and the disappeared victims.
Ah, so that's why it's coming out now. Because she's been targeted once again.
Right, so nobody would be able to get off scot-free.
But of course, they thought that she knew more, and that, they duped, so it was kind of a mutual assured destruction type thing. So they're going to attempt to take her out, since she did almost expose the plan with Linny and Lynette. So of course she would have a target back on her back. And so now she's getting the information because the target is already on her back again.
As we've seen,
Makes
Boss's
sense.
tactic has worked. Even though Boss has been gone for a long time, The other side has not tried to take Demoiselle's life.
No, I don't believe it. He never appeared to look sick to me.
I mean, people can hide things like that. I mean, there's this whole, like, suffering in silence tech thing. Like, people are really good at hiding things from others. Hmm? Ah. Yeah. Don't waste them on leveling every character. Just find ones that you really like, that work well together, and level them up.
No father wants their daughter to see them weak and haggard, especially someone as proud as Boss.
Exactly.
To him, dying in a duel and suffering lasting dishonor as the unfaithful was still far preferable than losing face in front of his daughter.
So he chose to die in silence, so that he could protect me.
Because he loves and cares about you.
I'm afraid you're not understanding this correctly, Demoiselle. What Boss wanted to hand to you was not a parasol, but a sword. If Boss's spirit could hear you telling me that you want to find the answer for the sake of everyone involved, I'm sure he'd be extremely proud.
That fool. Couldn't he have just given it to me straight?
He didn't want to put you in more danger than you already were in. And it would have ruined the plan for your safety.
No. He might have set up everything precisely because he never thought I'd be able to understand him.
Damn, Navia's got a lot of baggage.
Is that the amount of confidence he had in me? And what if I was never able to make it to where I am now?
He gave you the choice to live how you want. In the case that you wanted to live comfortably and safe, he gave you that option.
Yeah. I suppose that's true. With the way he'd set things up, if I had wanted, I could have just lived out my life without a care in the world.
Exactly. He wanted that to happen in case you wanted the choice. Because it's better to give the choice than choose for somebody.
But thankfully, he rarely talked to me about complex matters, and thus understood little of me as a person. In this case, he really didn't need to give me an easy way out. Malus, what was the key evidence that he shared with you?
It's the location where synth is produced. Essentially, it's the enemy's headquarters.
Ah.
He was threatening the enemy. Boss didn't share the specifics of the incriminating evidence he found.
House of the Hearth?
But if you want to use it against the enemy, you'll still have to take several things into consideration.
A different Fatui base? I really think it's the Fatui working against the Fatui in this situation. Because I think the House of Hearth technically is still the Fatui, but is working with their own motives. Because we know Child comes into this, and he's here on business. But we also know from Linny and Lynette that the House of the Hearth is kind of its own thing. Technically, it's part of the Fatui, but also from voice lines by Child and Scaramouche, the Knave, which is Arlecchino, who was in charge of the House of the Hearth, would easily betray, and she is not to be trusted. Thus... Oh, damn. Sorry. I'll be quiet. Da 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 da. Ba da ba ba ba. Ba da boo ba boo. Ad time, ad time. We're gonna wait for ad time. Ad time, ad time. We're gonna wait for the ads to finish. So we're just gonna sing a little ad time song. Da 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 boo 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 boo. Ad time, ad time. Waiting for the ads to finish. Boo boo doo boo boo boo. Ad time, ad time. We're waiting for the ads to finish. Do 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 do. Ad time, ad time. We're just waiting for the ads to finish so everybody can know what's going on. Boo 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 doo boo 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 doo. If you're watching the VOD, you can probably skip ahead. Boo 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 doo boo boo boo. La 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 la. Boo doo boo boo. Ad time, ad time. We're just waiting for the ads to finish. Whenever it's done, please let
If we know
fuck.
where the place is, can't we just go storming in?
Damn it. I accidentally hit my save. Oh, okay, good. Yeah, just let me know when ads start and when they're done. Because I always try to pause for a little bit so everybody can watch. Because ads do really annoy the shit out of me, but I kind of need to keep them up. So, I'm sorry. I put them in so you don't get ads right away when coming into the stream. Because you can't exactly entirely turn off ads. Yeah, that too. I also just kind of need the money. I mean, we don't get paid very much for the ads, though, which sucks. Also, I accidentally hit my like scroll pad thing, so it advanced one little bit. But I'll read it anyways. Why, if we know where the place is, can't we just go storming in?
You mustn't forget that we're fighting against a mysterious and dangerous organization that's been in operation for decades.
Yeah, and they probably already expect us to be storming in. Thus, they're definitely more on guard than they normally would be. So if anything, we need to sneak in, not just storm in, sneak in, and be a bit more stealthy and coordinated with it. So they're 1,000% gonna be on guard because they know that Navia did not die yet. They know that we're working with this, the Rusula thing. And we have quite the reputation for, saving literally every single freaking, land that we go to, and we are in Fontaine now, so they probably are also on guard for us. So yeah, and they know that some of the members of Spina de Rusula know their secret and where they are. So yeah, storming in is
what might
the
be
worst.
lying in wait at their headquarters. We also have no idea what kind of evidence we may be able to find inside, nor what people we may be able to capture.
Exactly, we need to be more coordinated than that, Paimon.
But a single visit to their headquarters will be tantamount to a formal declaration of war.
That too. Because they can't have full confirmation that Navia knows everything. Because if not, she likely would have said that during the trial. So they probably suspect she doesn't know everything yet, but that she's hot on their trail and that sooner or later she's gonna know about the secret. And also that she knows she's being targeted.
The worst case would be that we leave empty-handed, but also open ourselves up to full retaliation.
Exactly. We need to be extremely tactful in this.
Then, in that case, why not work with the Fontaine authorities?
We don't have enough evidence.
Well, you saw one of them dissolve during Mr. Linney's case. We have no idea just how thoroughly they may have been infiltrated.
Exactly, that too.
Huh. That's true. Seems my father really had no choice.
Indeed. He truly had no real choice, and also, he valued your safety and your choice to live however you wanted more than anything likely. Thus, also, even if he wasn't already going to die soon, he was going to do that regardless.
But things are different now. It should be a lot easier to prove the other side's guilt, now that we've connected Synth with the disappearances case.
Yes, but we don't have enough evidence.
You sound like you've put a lot of thought into this, Maloose.
Well, yeah, he's had it some time.
I am the butler, after all. I live but to serve the boss and Demoiselle's will.
I'm really liking the storylines. They've really, truly... Hoyo, in the 3 years of doing this, have truly learned how to do the stories way better in this.
I've always been willing to take on any kind of risk for your sake. But considering my relative lack of ability, I've spent my time keeping secrets, performing basic investigations, and waiting for the right time to come.
Nice, nice. I have, Mondstadt and Liue's, statues fully upgraded, but I do not have Inazuma's nor, Sumeru or Fontaine's. Fontaine, I don't even think is to level 1 yet. Inazuma is really close, and before Fontaine's update, I was trying to upgrade it, but I didn't fully upgrade it yet.
Thank you for all of that, Maloose. Have you discovered anything new in the past few years?
Let me think. One conclusion I came to was that the enemy must be quite familiar with Spina di Rosula, or at least have an informant planted here.
Exactly.
When I announced orders to the organization's members on Demoiselle's behalf, I used to deliberately keep a few people in the dark and observe the reactions of the synth vendors.
Smart.
If the vendors didn't change their plans, then the individuals informed of our orders must be innocent. If the vendors packed up and fled, however, then someone must have given them the news.
Very smart, very smart.
After several rounds of testing and investigative tracing, I've narrowed the suspect list down to 3 people.
Oh shit.
The first is Florent, Spina di Rosula's senior advisor.
Hot. I like the beard and mustache and stuff.
Huh? Florent?
Yes, surprising, isn't it? He was one of the people Boss trusted the most, which also means that he was someone who understood Boss really well.
Exactly, and normally, like in mafia stories or stuff like that, or like crime stories, if you want to get close in the mob family, because they're basically the mafia, let's be honest, if they want to get close to the big person in charge and get the best, most reliable information, of course you'd become very close and very high up in the ranks of the family, of course. It makes sense.
Thanks to his position within Boss's innermost circle, he always knew our upcoming plans and could thus avoid capture this whole time.
Exactly.
There's someone else like him too. Marcel, the head of Confrérie of Cabrières.
Uncle Marcel.
What is the Confrérie?
It's a guild in Poisson. The boss helped it to grow to its current size and prominence.
Mm.
In the beginning, they were only reselling some daily goods, but now they're one of the richest guilds around with a lot of business connections in the city.
Mm.
So, they're like a sister organization of Spina di Rosula?
Yes,
Kind of,
you
yeah.
can say that. When we were fighting against the synth dealers, they provided us with plenty of support.
Understandable.
A bit difficult to imagine someone using their own money to hunt down themselves.
To double cross. Play both sides. It makes sense.
The final suspect is Thierry, the man responsible for coordinating information between Spina di Rosula and the guards.
Makes sense. Play all sides. Play the Spina di Rosula, play the guards, and play the Fatui. I'm just gonna say it's the Fatui.
Although the guards mostly leave us to our own devices, there are still many activities we have to report to the local authorities. Since Thierry is always in the know about our current activities, he could theoretically always plan one step ahead.
I see. These are all people who I communicate with quite regularly.
Exactly.
To think
That would be the
enemy
point.
we've been fighting against has been right next to me all along, among those I trust the most. It's almost too hard to believe.
Clearly, you've never seen any crime films.
If you want to investigate them, please take every precaution to not alert the quarry. Judging from our experience, the enemy is extremely cautious.
I mean, why blow the whole plan? Especially if it's been, like, years of lead up. Why fuck it up all in one moment?
Of course. And thank you, Malus. You've provided us with a lot of great information.
You're too kind, my lady. I'm just doing my duty.
Haha, he said duty.
And before I forget, proving Boss's innocence would also mean clearing him of blame in Jacques' death.
Of course. So you would be able to prove your father's innocence.
After that incident, Jacques' wife and daughter were taken into the Spina's care. They still live in Poisson today. If it might help, you could also pay them a visit. I can make the necessary arrangements.
Aw, thank you so much, Malus. You really are the best.
A new case awaits, my dear partner.
Leave it to me.
I hope we can work together to uncover the truth and end this case once and for all.
Yes, indeed. Oh! This is case records 3 years ago on a rainy night. Banquet goers heard 2 gunshots outside the house. When they reached the scene, Callus had a gun in his hand and Jock had been shot and slain. Based on the investigations done, there was no possibility that anyone could have done the deed, escaped, and Callus thus adjusted to have been the culprit. What? Whoa. One moment, sorry, I probably was really loud at that moment, sorry. I was fixing one of my nails. Don't worry about me. Okay, where the fuck are we going? Lower. Okay. I thought that was fucking Yelan for a second. I mean, it did look like a coat from far away. How the fuck do I get up there? Climbing, of course, but like... Sure, there's some sort of actual walkway, but I'm just gonna climb. Okay. I'm gonna steal your shit. Free potato. Okay.
It is settled then. Please excuse me and enjoy your conversation at your leisure.
We will.
Thank you for arranging everything for us, Malus.
Excuse me, miss. Do you need anything from us?
Oh, this was the same outfit that, the other lady was wearing. Aww.
Hey, Navia's all quiet. This isn't like her at all.
Let's not bother her for
I'm
now.
sorry that I only came to visit after all this time. After what happened,
Yeah.
I didn't know how I was supposed to face the two of you.
Well, hand it over and me want snackies.
If it's about that, there's no need to apologize. After my husband died, Spina di Rosula sent us a lot of mura and support. I understood your guilt and apology to be genuine.
But aren't all of those things nothing compared to the loss of Jacques? I can understand the kind of pain that comes with losing a father so needlessly.
You don't understand at all.
I didn't know how to face you, because I didn't know what I could possibly bring as a consolation gift. I know only the full truth could bring closure to you, and to all of us.
I'm sorry. I appreciate the sentiment, but you don't have to carry all that guilt. On the matter regarding my husband, my daughter and I have more or less found our answer already.
Would you mind sharing it with me? I really can't believe that my father could ever bring himself to shoot Jacques.
I always knew that my husband's money was earned through others' suffering. He told me countless times that if he could turn back the clock, he would never go into the synth business again. He had many regrets, and felt that he took the idea of providing for his family too literally. For the longest time, he thought Mora was everything. So when Mr. Callis came to him with a proposal, he accepted it almost immediately. He tried to be as careful as he could, but even so, he was still found out by the higher-ups.
And so they both knew they were going to die, so they set up a plan to take the heat off of Navia.
Jesus fucking Christ, I swear to God!
Oh, Jesus. Thanks for the jump scare.
They found out about his betrayal?
If you ever do the Japanese, voices in Climb with Lisa, always wear headphones. Always wear headphones. She really likes climbing.
Papa didn't say that exactly, but Papa did tell me that I should never be ungrateful.
Before he left that day, he told me that he had no choice. It was only later that I realized it was his final farewell to the two of us.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't. I normally play with the English dub. Or English voices, so I never really had that problem. But also, I always wear with headphones, anyways. I don't like things playing out loud for other people to hear. So I did not learn the hard way, but I'm sure plenty of people did. Wait, does that mean someone ordered Jock to take out Callus?
I don't know that for sure, but you could say that's the conclusion I eventually came to. Which is why I'm the one who should feel guilty. Callus had always taken great care of us, both when he was still alive and after he passed away. Even if he fired the shot that killed my husband, it was likely in self-defense. It is impossible for me to hate him for what he had done.
Fair enough.
But Mama, why is Papa still the bad guy if he did the right thing? Papa always wanted to be a good man, so why did he have to do a bad thing in the end?
Sometimes you don't get the choice. And he probably wanted to keep you guys safe as well.
Well, things aren't always as they seem. You still feel like your papa was a good man, right?
Yeah, Papa was a really good man. The best in the whole world.
Then you should hold on to that. If a good man had to do a bad thing, then he must have had his reasons. Regardless of whether he left you a parasol or a sword, he must have done so to give you a better life.
Yes.
Oh,
Thank you for everything you've told me. I will definitely find the truth. The current state of things is not something I'm willing to just sit back and accept.
Thank you. I'm very grateful to hear this from you. Even though your personality is quite different from your father's, your determination when you speak is really similar.
You really think so? That's the first time anyone said that to me.
Testimony from Jacques' family. Jacques' family believes that he had struggled greatly with the order to kill Callus. Did Callus act in self-defense, or was there more to the incident? I think there was a little bit more to the incident.
are you okay, Navia?
I'm fine. Don't worry. Let's investigate the 3 suspects next. Laurent should be nearby, and we should be able to find Thierry and Uncle Marcel in the city. I'll get myself together on the way, so please don't worry.
Here, let's go slow for Navia. Let's role play walk. Give her a little bit of time to recuperate. I like the sway of the tail. I clearly like the animal characters, seeing as Tainari, I love him. I mean, Shogun is not exactly a, animal, but I am for her. Okay, I'm done RP walking. It's taking way too long. Oh, so cute.
Greetings, boss. How may I be of assistance today?
I'm sure you've heard about what happened at the Opera House. Someone got turned into water right in front of us.
Yeah, I've heard. With something that dramatic, I'm sure journalists will milk it for all it's worth. And it'll be all the talk for the next several weeks.
It also reminded me, on the day that the incident happened with my father, it was raining outside, and we found some clothes left at the scene. After my partner here put the dots together for me, I feel like we should try to reopen his case. Can you do me a favor and try to recall what happened that night?
Let me think. Mr. Callis was feeling pretty upbeat that day. So he was drinking and bantering away with us at the table.
Because he wanted to keep his spirits up despite knowing he would die that night. He wanted to have one last good day. That's my guess. Often people who are about to commit suicide often will change from being very depressed to very happy and joyful. Oh, one moment. Add time, add time. Add time, add time, add time. Gotta love the annoying ads. I wish you could skip ads on here, 'cause that would make it a little bit easier for people to continue to watch, but Amazon is a little bit of a greedy business. La da 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 ba 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 da ba ba. Ad time, ad time. Gotta love the ads for ad time. La 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 la. Ad time, ad time. I just heard my mother sneeze. I'm half tempted to yell bless you, but I don't want to yell into the mic. Okay. Back to what I was saying. Often, people who have planned their deaths and stuff, often people who are about to attempt suicide will, become more happy and joyful, because they know it's about to end, and they want to have one last good day, and also they're in control, or they have the feeling of they're in control, so I think that's why. So it makes sense that he was feeling happy and upbeat that day, or at least putting on a happy face, not wanting others to catch on to the plan. I don't know.
After that, he told us that he wanted to go get some fresh air. So we let him go without thinking much of it. Who knew that we would hear 2 gunshots ring out right after? My first reaction was that Mr. Callis's life was in danger. So I grabbed my holster and made a mad dash toward the scene. But when I got there, it was already too late. Mr. Callis was standing over a dead body with a gun in his hands. All we could do was look back and forth at each other, not knowing what to say.
So you also remember 2 gunshots then?
Indeed. The guards said that the first shot didn't hit anyone, while the second killed Jacques. But I've never really bought that explanation.
So he shot the person who then dissolved, and then Jacques, I'm guessing.
Reason being, Mr. Callus had left his gun on the table. I even made sure to confirm that before running to the scene.
So Jacques let Callus kill him because he did not want to die, but maybe Jacques shot the person in the water and then handed the gun over to Callus? I don't know. This is a guess.
But according to the guards, that doesn't mean he couldn't have had other guns on his person. About the clothes left at the scene that you mentioned, do you think there was a third person there who was turned into water?
It's very possible.
At least from our perspective, my father had no reason to kill, so he would also have no reason to bring an extra gun with him.
True.
The gun he was holding probably belonged to Jacques, or a third person on the scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So you're saying Mr. Callus ended up with the gun because he seized it from one of the other guys?
Yep.
But hold on. If that's what had happened, then why didn't he share the truth with any of us?
Because he knew one of you guys was a double crosser, and also to keep his daughter safe.
He didn't even want to face the Oratrice machine, and chose instead to prove his honor in a duel. Did he lose all faith in the courts after seeing someone dissolve right in front of his eyes?
Possibly, but I think he was more planning it than we initially think at this moment. Or are
About
supposed
that,
to think at this moment.
Luce told me a thing or two, so I think I can understand why he committed to the duel. I'll tell you everything once the whole truth has been revealed.
I understand. Then I'll leave Mr. Callus's honor in your hands, boss. And if I may just say one more thing, the whole Callus the Unfaithful epithet has been a thorn in my side since the day it was invented. Many people have laughed at me for still calling him Mr. Callus, even after so many years have passed.
I don't think he is an informant, but he still
It was
very
Mr.
well might
Callus's
be.
trust that allowed me to rise through the ranks of Spina di Rosula and live the life I lead today. No matter what others might say, he'll always be the man I respect the most. And he'll always be my boss.
Oh, damn. I think he likes the boss, but I don't think he likes the boss that much.
Don't worry. I will definitely find the truth.
What? Yeah. Look out, there's also the Pornhub sound in this, so... Yeah, if... Maybe, just in case, always use, earbuds or headphones when listening to me.
You and all our other comrades at the Spina deserve to know the truth as well.
I think, Florent is not the informant. Either the second or third, because the first person would be too obvious. Florent, the advisor of the Spina di Russa, claimed that he was very grateful to Callus for his kindness. He was also present at the banquet on the day of the case, and can provide evidence that Callus did not carry a gun with him when he went out. He's probably just too close to the case that, of course, suspicion would rise. Wrong place at the wrong time. Go this way. I think it's probably the guard. Play all sides. It's the smartest move. And plus, we already knew that there was a guard that was on the side of, the bad guys, which again I just think is the Fatui, because the Fatui are almost always involved with the bad guys, so, or the bad guys are almost always the Fatui, so, yeah, it's a easy guess. Where the fuck am I supposed to go? Oh. I'm gonna say it's probably the guard. Hello, sir. I'm totally not suspicious of you at all.
Hey, Thierry, it's me.
Oh, now, what brings you here, Miss Navia? I've heard that you made quite the name for yourself at the Opera House.
Oh, so you've got news of that already.
Oh, okay. Hey, I'm also a member of the Guards, you know. The way you make it sound, people would think I was sent off to Poisson because I had done something wrong.
You can do single pulls, but the likelihood of you getting a 5-star already is low. So, likely just wait until you have 10 pulls, because that makes it go quicker, and it's more bang for your buck. But single pulls aren't bad either. Often, people save single pulls when they're close to soft pity, which soft pity is 75 wishes. Soft pity is also normally when your likelihood of getting a 5-star is increased, and hard pity is when you have a guaranteed 5-star, which is 90 pulls.
Are you sure there isn't a little bit of truth in that? Under normal circumstances, shouldn't you have been called back to the city already?
So around the time you reach 75, that's probably around the time you're going to want to do single pulls. But until then, you're probably going to want to do 10 pulls, and if you get lucky, you'll get a 5-star.
I mean,
Early
where
5-star.
I work is really up to me. Let's just say I enjoy the ambiance of Poisson.
Because it's way more convenient to do 7.5 10 pulls than 75 single pulls. But you could still do that.
Callis did a fantastic job running the town, building Spina di Rosula from the ground up and clearing many obstructions in my way. It would be next to impossible for me to find a similarly easy but high-paying job in the city. Anyway, enough chit-chat. Are these two friends of yours? You, here for some formal business?
Yes. These two are my partners. What happened at the Opera House made us realize that Linny's case and my father's may be related. We're trying to reinvestigate the details of my father's old case.
Ah, I get it. You think there might be more to the case now that we know people can be dissolved into water, right? I was also flabbergasted when I first heard of it.
I'm probably gonna end this around 12 o'clock, just so you guys know. I'm probably gonna be updating my schedule to 8 to 12, because around 12 o'clock is when my Wi-Fi starts to dip in quality, and I again want to the best of my ability, keep these streams all in one VOD and not cut it up. So yeah.
If you want to go through the original files from your father's case, I can help you look for them.
That'd be much appreciated. Thank you. Actually, I have another question. Do you have the authority to dispatch Gardamex?
Of course. Without them, I couldn't possibly handle Poisson on my own. Why do you ask? We definitely can't use them to forcefully get more evidence for your father's case.
Well, you see, just recently, we were attacked by a horde of unnumbered Gardamex in the city. So, if you hypothetically wanted to do something against me, all you would need to do was get rid of the mecha serial numbers and send them after me.
Then you think too highly of my abilities. Dispatching mecha is very different from controlling them. If I had to make an analogy, when you order a dish, the chef will make it for you. You can ask the chef to cook, but not to massage your shoulders or carry your baggage. If you try to make unreasonable demands, the chef would just think you're out of your mind and ignore you completely. The same goes for me and my Gardamex.
Fair enough.
Removing a serial number is also not as easy as you might think. There are a lot of complex steps to it, and it's almost impossible to keep it a secret. So I can promise you, those mecha were definitely private units. They're certainly not cheap. So, whoever their owner is must be super rich, powerful, or both. Now that you mention it, though, being in the synth business would definitely be profitable enough to afford this.
I still think it's, Patui makes the most sense to me.
Oh, then you're officially in the clear, Thierry.
Oh, thank you for the vote of confidence, Navia.
Nice, nice. Kaya's great. You're a little late to unlock his skin, which gives him just the slightest upgrade to his concave ass. He's one of the most beautiful characters, but man, miHoYo did him dirty by giving him the flattest butt in the game. Almost concave.
Jokes aside, I'd like to wish you all the best with your investigation.
I suppose he would be too powerful if they give him the dumpy he deserves.
I'll be staying in the city for a little while, so just come find me if you need any support from the guards.
Oh, yeah.
Seems Winnie is saying some strange things again. It's really worrying.
I'm curious, are you a Diluc simp or a Kaya simp? Information regarding Theory. Theory is the person responsible for official contact between the Spina di Rusula and the guards. According to him, only the sufficiently rich can privately own large numbers of Gardamex. It's okay, I don't really like Diluc, but fair enough. I respect other people's tastes. I mean, the only characters that I don't like are Diluc, Child, because it's kind of a love-hate relationship, and Mika, just because I think he just doesn't get it for me. I just don't get his appeal, really. Several parts of his design annoys me, and I can't get with his personality. And I don't hate any of the characters, it's just a mild dislike. So it's like, I still respect people who enjoy them, they're just not for me. I'm not just gonna be like, ew, you like Diluc? Ew, horrible taste. How dare you have trash taste in my chat. How dare you? I should ban you just for saying you're a Deluxe simp. Sorry. Just kidding. As long as you don't be weird or creepy, I don't care. Like whoever you like. I'm not gonna make you like anybody. If you don't vibe with a character, you don't vibe with them. That is perfectly fine and respectable. I can understand the appeal, he just doesn't exactly appeal to me. Let me use this. It's pretty. I mostly hate on him as a joke. Truly, my feelings are just slightly lower than neutral. Like, there is truly no character in this game yet that I extremely dislike. All of them are just slightly below neutral.
Hello, how may I help you? I'm here to see Marcel. Could you please let him know? You can just say Navia's looking for him.
Sure, I will let him know right away.
So I'm gonna guess Marcel's the informant.
Navia, hello. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm not as young as I used to be, so my legs are giving out a bit.
Oh, it's all right, Uncle Marcel. There's no need to stress. I just wanted to talk to you briefly about what happened in the Opera House. I'm sure you saw everything too, right?
Yes, I've never seen anything so strange.
Oh, you were at the Opera House too?
That's right. I went there with Navia to see the magic show. Who knew it would turn into a whole murder mystery?
Big sus. Big sus.
I also witnessed your marvelous sleuthing work. Quite impressive. To beat the Hydro Archon at her own game on her own turf, I can already imagine everyone in Fontaine discussing your exploits over a few glasses of wine.
Oh, Paimon doesn't want to become the talk of drunkards.
We already are, Paimon. We've already gone through Mondstadt, and Mondstadt's full of drunks.
Apologies. It's just how Fontaine is as a nation. Everyone loves drama and theatrics.
Uncle Marcel, you've also noticed that other thing, right? The fact that humans can dissolve in water?
Yes, I was reminded of your father's case right away. Is that what you're investigating now?
Exactly. I still don't have much solid proof, but I can sense that the other side has already begun to act.
Yeah. It's a damn shame. Honestly, now, I think it's because he would be way too powerful if they gave him the dumpy he deserves. They had to give him a flat ass. Because, if not, he would be too powerful.
Oh, and what makes you say that?
They had to handicap him. It's a damn shame.
We were attacked on Arameus by some unnumbered Gardamex. And there was also an attempt to get me to drink water from the primordial sea. If not for the vigilance of my partner, I probably wouldn't even be here talking to you right now.
Oh, you're giving us too much credit. Wasn't it you who protected us?
Alas, it seems things are heating up again. The peace that Callus sought so dearly will soon become a thing of the past.
Exactly. The clap of his ass cheeks would alert the guards. He would be too powerful that it would be difficult to play without you nutting every time he would move. It's the clap of his ass cheeks.
But rest assured, Nadia, Poisson will always remain a safe haven for you. If you're scared, you can always return there. If anyone dares to lay their hands on you there, the Confrérie of Cabrières will use its funds to the last Mora to bring them to justice.
Thank you, Uncle Marcel. But I don't intend to go into hiding. I'm going to strike while the iron's hot. Do you have any new thoughts on my father's case?
About that. Sorry, my age is catching up with me, so it'll take me a while to recall my memory.
Sauce.
The Confrérie was responsible for that banquet, so I was out and about the whole time making sure things were running smoothly. I didn't even have the time to drink with the guests.
Sauce.
Then I heard the sound of a gunshot, and the rest was history.
Sauce.
Oh, it's okay. No need to push yourself.
He's the informant.
We'll ask around some more. See if there are any valuable clues elsewhere.
Ooh, a new shiny little treasure.
Oh, thank you for the follow, love. I very much appreciate it. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Just let me know if you ever need Mora. All my wealth comes from Callus's patronage and support. I'll spend however much it takes to clear his name.
Information regarding Marcel. Marcel is the leader of the Confrérie of sorry, I don't know how to speak French. And was the organizer of the banquet years prior. The Confrère and Spina di Rusula have always maintained a close working relationship, though his recollection of the events of the case is quite foggy. He is still willing to defend Navia. He's the informant for sure. 1000%. The other two gave way more of a case for them to not be. He only gave mild support. The others were way more direct and way more sincere sounding, at least in my opinion. Well, I think you can go across servers and stuff. I'm not entirely sure, though. I never exactly asked if people were, in different servers. Oh, I need more of this stuff. Milk. I need to ask Muella for more milk, I guess. I need wheat. I need potatoes. Cabbage is good, onions are fine, pepper is good, salt is okay. I can get more from exploring. I'm good on mushrooms, and I don't think I really actually need Fanta right now. Oh, yeah, sure.
Being skilled at something doesn't make it a hobby.
My UID should be in the corner there, so... I just realized yesterday I never actually got my commissions thing. I did my commissions, but I didn't go to the frickin' Adventurers Guild ever. Oh my gosh, I'm annoyed at myself. Okay, I'll add you. I don't mind adding people. Ooh. Hot. Hot. Sorry. Okay.
We've talked to all 3 suspects, purely based on
Yeah.
their conversations with me.
Yeah, you can't join worlds until level 15 anyways. You can't join other people's worlds.
None of them sounded particularly suspicious.
Yeah. Oh. Ba 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 ba. Ad time, ad time. Gotta love the good old ad time, ad time. It happens almost every 30 minutes, I think. Da 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 da. Gotta love the good old ads. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Ba 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 ba. Ad time, gotta love the good old ads. My hair's going into my face. I'll show it when you guys return, but my hair's most definitely clipping into my face a little bit. Right there. Da 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 da. How is everybody doing who can still hear me? I hope you're good. Okay. My hair is clipping into my face. Pointing at it. Just a little clipping. A little bit of clipping action.
I suppose that's to be expected, though. If a single conversation's all that's needed to find them out, then my father wouldn't have needed to investigate the case for so many years.
True, but I think it's the last guy.
Anyway, even though we didn't make a breakthrough, let's still compile what we were able to find.
Okay.
But where should we start?
Jacques' motive.
Ah, you're right! Flora mentioned that Callus probably only ended up with the gun because of circumstance. That makes sense.
Yeah.
According to Jacques' family members, he already told them that he had been discovered, and that he had no choice before he left home that day.
Yeah.
If I had to guess, he probably received an order from the synth boss to kill my father. Had he refused, he and his family's lives would have been forfeit.
Exactly, so he got an agreement with Callus to kill him, but still seem like he did it, and the only other real true witness was already liquefied.
So, Jacques fired the first shot?
If I were Jacques, I wouldn't have fired a shot at all.
Oh? And why is that?
Could he guarantee his safety after killing Callus? Could he guarantee his family's safety after killing Callus?
Ooh, that's a good point. Jacques probably already knew that he was just being used as a tool for murder. And once he had completed his mission, he'd be of no more use to his boss.
Exactly, so he was in agreement with Callus. So that's how he got the gun. So he shot the person who got liquefied first, and then
So,
handed
what
the
would make more
gun to
sense from
Callus.
his perspective would be to turn his back on the Order and seek protection from my father.
Seems the third person would be the one who derailed everything.
Makes sense. But without evidence, that's still just a theory.
A game theory. Thanks for watching. Sorry.
Besides, Jacques, the attack from the Gardamex has been bothering me quite a bit as well. It's obvious that our enemy has become more antsy after the secret of the primordial seawater was revealed.
Obviously. It would be easier to operate through ignorance.
Do you think he knew, even then, that we'd follow this lead to the end?
Likely.
Given everything that's happened since, it's quite possible. But who among the three suspects would have the ability to control privately owned Gardamex?
The one who was in charge of money, Marcel.
Uncle Marcel? My father did really trust him. And they worked together on a large number of projects. Maybe that's how he got to know Jacques.
Yeah. Marcel's the guy we just talked to, I think.
And with funds from the Conqueree, he could also afford a large number of Gardamex.
But I believe the person he works for is the Fatui, who have plenty of money because Child is here on monetary business. Oh, thank you.
Still really hard for me to imagine, though. After all, Uncle Marcel has been around since I was just a child.
Well, yeah, why not get in as soon as you can?
Also, wouldn't this mean he has been spending a whole lot of Mora and energy to fight his own synth business?
Well, yeah, to make it more obvious, but how much is he truly losing? Because I'm sure he's doing it extremely strategically to not only gain your trust, but still make quite a profit. I think the other guess is Thierry.
Thierry, you say?
Thierry,
Huh.
sorry.
It is possible that he's figured out a way to convert the Gardamex for personal use.
True.
But I didn't feel like he was lying when he was talking to us about the mecha.
Agreed.
I also don't think he'd be able to keep that kind of tampering under wraps.
Agreed.
Yeah. Had he actually tampered with the mecha, we'd be able to prove it with a simple check of the guard's inventory.
Exactly.
If the mecha were taken from the guards, it should be pretty easy to find out when and how that happened.
Maybe it was someone else. I don't think it's Florent.
Laurent?
Florent.
It is true that he was closest to my father, and thus had the best chance of learning about his dealings with Jacques. But as Spina di Rosula's advisor, his work mostly deals with personnel and security, so he shouldn't have much means when it comes to finances.
Exactly.
So you're saying he's too broke to afford a mecha army?
Yeah.
Exactly. He can't. And even if he could, I don't think he would be able to dispatch a whole group so quickly.
Yeah.
Who could it be?
I think... I truly think it's Marcel. He makes the most sense. He has
If you think everything
Yeah.
through, Uncle Marcel is indeed the most suspicious of them all.
He didn't share any real key information at the end. Or really at all. Where, Florent and Marcel, not Marcel, the other guy, I don't remember how to say his name, the guard guy, both had key information close to the end. And also the first would be way too obvious, so they wouldn't make the first guy guilty. The second guy is a bit more likely, and he has a bit more obvious motives, but he gave way too much information and seemed way too sincere, just like the first guy. First guy seemed way too sincere and did not have enough motive nor enough resources to do it. Uncle Marcel has the motive, the resources, and did not share nearly enough key information, and he's also the third suspect that we saw. So it's most likely Marcel. It's all good. You're just here to be entertained.
Could we be missing other suspects? Malus didn't know about the people turning into water thing when he narrowed it down to these three, did he?
I think he did.
Malus has always been very reliable, and his judgment of others' trustworthiness has been fair and well considered. When he laid out his case for the three, the rationale he gave me made a lot of sense as well.
Exactly.
The suspect is knowledgeable about the Spina's internal affairs, has the means to dispatch Mecha to assassinate us, and possesses significant intellect and foresight.
Yep, Marcel.
Even if
I'm
I don't want to believe
1000%
it,
sure it's
I'm
Marcel.
starting to see how things could all tie back to Uncle Marcel.
He is someone who is very close to you, after all. Keep your friends close, but your enemies closer.
Well, we still have another trump card on top of all the theorizing and speculating.
The synth production base.
Yes, Malus did say that charging straight in there would be extremely risky. But we don't have any other options right now. We need far more solid proof before we can hope to go charging in on our enemy.
Navi,
Yeah.
here you are. Oh, I've been looking for you.
Huh? Aren't you the guy from the guards? Did something happen?
Yeah. News came from Irenaeus just after you left. We've got another trial on our hands.
Oh, shit.
Wasn't that place built specifically for holding trials? What's so newsworthy about this one?
I know. But they said the person they're putting on trial is a Fatui harbinger called Tartaglia.
What?
Child?
Is that someone you know?
Yes.
Yeah,
We know him very well.
maybe even a little too well.
He's very much... We have a very much love-hate relationship.
Well, he's been accused of being the true culprit behind the serial disappearances case. It's absurd, don't you think?
I can see it. He is part of the Fatui. I don't think he's the true culprit. I think there are multiple culprits. I think it's an organization, not a single person.
Wait, how? None of our investigations have had anything to do with him.
Again, I still think it's the Fatui behind us. And the House of the Hearth is technically working against them, but because they don't not entirely trust the House of the Hearth, because they know that Arlecchino, if given the chance, would turn on them in a heartbeat. That's why they put Linny and Lynette against and put them on the chopping block, because disposable in the Fatui's eyes, and also would be proving a point to Arlecchino that she needs to be better, because again, a lot of the characters have said that she would turn on the Fatui in a heartbeat.
That's what I thought was strange about it, so I came to tell you the news right away. If the charge against him stands, then it'll be next to impossible to get the guards to support any of our planned investigations.
Yeah.
Right, because they'll think they've already found the culprit.
Exactly.
Yeah. And it'll be a lot harder then to clear Mr. Callus's name.
Yep.
I understand. Well, partner, what do you think we should do? We still haven't found any conclusive evidence.
I think now might be the best time to try to investigate the place, because they're so focused on the trial right now, and we can stop in at some point. Oh yeah, let's split up.
Huh? Split up? What do you mean?
You can go to the Aranir, and while I go investigate that place. I'm confident in my combat abilities.
Just as expected of my partner.
Yeah, it makes most sense to at least get one person in watching the trial while the other goes to see. Yeah, hell yeah.
Since this is a trial about the serial disappearances case, the culprit's attention will be focused on Arrhenius, leaving his home base wide open.
Exactly. I don't think maybe Froyo, maybe not exactly burning down the town. We're gonna be stealthing into the base. Ah, fuck, we're gonna have to stealth. But we're definitely gonna be stealthing into the base, and then, have a lovely victory feast after.
You're right. This is our best opportunity. Alright then, let's do this. I'll stall them at the Opera House and charge Marcel as the true culprit.
Yes.
I won't have any chance of making that charge stick, though, unless we find more evidence. It'll be up to you to make it back in time and hand the decisive evidence to me.
Yeah, I hate the stealth sections in this game. It is my least favorite part of this game. And with all that oil, we can save it for the pyro area, or more effectively, the cryo area. Save the oil for Snezhnaya. And over time, in like 2 years, maybe you'll accrue even more oil to set Snezhnaya aflame.
We'll help you, just like you helped us in Linny's trial.
Demoiselle, please allow us to accompany you.
I'm ready.
Ah, Malou, Silver. When did you two get here?
We heard that you'll be leaving Poisson and figured that you might require our assistance. It's our hope that your confidence will be bolstered with the two of us by your side.
Thank you so much. Then, let's make haste for Arrhenius. Paimon, Traveler, I'll see you at the Opera House.
I think I'm gonna end it for today. And since today is a Friday, it won't be until Monday for the next stream. But I think now is a better low point to end. especially since it's getting around 12. And it's for future me to have to deal with the stealth. So, next stream you'll see me hating the stealth. But yeah, we'll pick this up on Monday. Combining the information regarding the Gardamex and the investigation results so far, it can be concluded that there is only one person who can have a large number of Gardamex in his possession and run the synth business without leaving a trace. The person is none other than Marcel. Yay, it's about time for me to eat some food anyways. It was lovely having you guys. Thank you so much. Until the next time we meet. Mwah, mwah. I hope you all have a lovely day. I'm gonna see if they're just gonna teleport me there, because if they are, we might still continue. Okay, I'm gonna wait for the voice lines to finish. Okay, I'm gonna finish up for today. I'm probably gonna play a little bit offline just to do like to gather materials and stuff, but it's likely gonna be outside of Fontaine, so hopefully I won't have to play any more trailer line things. I'm gonna keep the stuff in the corner so I know if I'm getting too close to the good old story. I hope you guys have a lovely day. Don't forget to hydrate and take care of yourselves. Mwah.